Imagine a world without elephants, tigers, or even bees. Sounds strange, right? But it's believed that over a quarter of the world's animals and plants are threatened with extinction, meaning they could disappear forever. That's over 46,000 species. There are many reasons why this is happening, including the destruction of animal homes, pollution, hunting, and climate change. Pretty worrying stuff, but thankfully, there is some good news. Because right here in this lab in Shropshire, there are some clever people working hard to protect animal populations. Scientists are collecting skin samples from a variety of animals to help bring them back in the future. Yes, you heard that right. It might sound like a science fiction film, but just a tiny sample of skin from an animal could be used to create a new animal. Lucy, one of the scientists here, can tell me more.
This is a fibroblast cell here, and this is one of the most common cells that we find in the skin layer that we're using. And this contains the animal's whole genetic profile.
A genetic profile is like an instruction manual for a living thing, which contains all the information of how it looks, grows and functions. The skin samples, which are taken from animals after they die, are carefully stored in exactly the right conditions so that they could be used to help reproduce the animal in the future, if it were to become extinct.
This solution that we've got in here allows us to freeze the animal's DNA without damaging it, so it protects it during the freezing process and be kept for as long as it needs it to be.
These vials go through 2 stages to cool them gradually. First at -80 degrees, and then in a tank of liquid nitrogen, which reaches an incredibly cold -196 degrees. But which animal's DNA do they have stored here? Well, lead scientist Tullis can explain more.
So there's nearly over 250 different species in this tank, from southern white rhinos, Asian elephants, and from something called the mountain chicken frog that you may never even heard of. In this tank here, we are doing UK species.
Okay.
So we're just about to start saving the hedgehog, but also in this we've got something called a Scottish wildcat and a red squirrel. UK is one of the most nature depleted countries in the world, which is frightening.
To create a baby animal from one of these samples, a reproductive cell is currently needed. But scientific breakthroughs mean it won't be long before this isn't necessary, and the genetic information contained in these skin samples will be enough. So what would make you happier, using your samples to save endangered species or not needing to because fewer animals are in danger?
It'd be nice if the samples weren't used, I agree, because that means species aren't going extinct. But I fear we will have to, and obviously, yes, it'd be nice to know that we played our part. But if we don't bank it, we lose it forever.
So if you could save any one animal from extinction, which would it be?
Could I only have one? Could I have 2?
You can have 2, I'll give you 2.
Well, I went to Africa and we collected samples off elephants many years ago, and that was just incredible. You know, some of these elephants have really been poached a lot, and it's really important. The other one is coral. Coral is one of the fastest declining species in the planet. We lost 50% of coral since 1950, and they're the lifeblood of our seas.
All animals have important roles in our world, and I really hope more is done to protect their numbers naturally. But it's comforting to know we have other options like we've seen today.